Heyo, gamer with taste here. I got a good one for you today. This is where my math degree starts showing a little bit. Not really, but we're doing math. We're doing a little bit of math today. So, this video is about carry weight and value. What's worth keeping to be able to sell later, and what's not worth keeping to be able to sell later. And this is mostly for Oblivion, and there are some caveats to these rules. But if you have ever played Oblivion or Skyrim, I think this works perfectly for Skyrim. Skyrim is they got their carry weights and they got their values dead on, okay? And it made Mercantile so amazing to delve into in Skyrim. It was great. Skyrim was amazing. Alchemy was broken, but alchemy has always been broken. So the thing is that if you've ever been like, oh man, I want to be a millionaire. I want to get a few million septums when I play these Elder Scrolls games. I want as much money as possible when I play Fallout. Do I need as much money? No. No, I don't need as much money as possible, but I like to see that big number go up. I like to see that be million. I like that. That's cool. It's like, man, there's actually a million Coca-Cola caps in this universe. There's a million of them, and they belong to me. Like, and this is just in this area. Like, I swear to God, people were dying from Nuka-Cola before the atoms dropped. Anyways, to get into carry weight and value, we got the main question, what's worth keeping to be able to sell later? That's the main question. Everyone kind of, maybe you understand it, maybe you don't. Maybe you don't even care because mercantile isn't your thing. That's fine. I love to be a merchant. But here's the thing. You look at the item's weight, and then you look at the item's value. And the weight has to be 1/10 of the value or less. The value needs to be 10 times the weight or more in order to be worth keeping to be able to sell later. If you have a potion that weighs 0.5, right? If you have a potion that weighs 0.5, it needs to be worth at least 5. Potions are powerful items. Potions are powerful items. So they are worth something, right? And they're usually worth more than that. Like, if you find a potion worth less than 5, then you're doing, like, I don't know what kind of potion that is, but it is worthless. And in Skyrim, every single potion is 0.5. And the thing is that most potions you make in Oblivion tend to be like 48, 47, 50, somewhere around there. They don't vary too much, and they're usually all the same value, but it's all a good value. They're never bad. So potions are almost always worth picking up. So, like, it doesn't matter what kind of potion that you're looking for your build or for your character. It doesn't matter which ones you use. If you find a potion or a poison, pick it up. Just pick it up. It's worth keeping to be able to sell later, at the very least. So, certain stuff like that, very easy. Gems. Gems, super easy to be able to just say, okay, every single gem I see, I pick up. Every single one. I don't have to question it. Ingots, anything above, like, I think corundum is the first one to be worth, which is actually pretty low. Most ingots, iron and steel, you could smith something with them in order to level up your smithing. Steel is a little bit, yeah, you could. You could use steel. You could use anything, but steel's not worth selling, so you might as well use it, right? That sort of thing. That's what you gotta do. So that covers all of that. Certain weapons really aren't worth it unless they're enchanted. But I started thinking, what's not worth keeping? What is not worth keeping in order to sell later? So I got my answer because I was thinking about in Oblivion. I've been having a difficult time deciding whether or not the Daedric Warhammers are even worth picking up. Because the thing is that they weigh like 93 pounds. They weigh like 93 pounds, dude. They're heavy. They're really, really heavy. And my carry weight is 555, right? If you want proof, that's my carry weight. And if you want proof that alchemy is broken, just look at, I'm telling you. But here's the thing. 93 pounds. What can I hold in a 555 carry weight? I can carry like 5 of them. Maybe 6. And yeah, spells can increase your carry weight. Yes, spells can increase your carry weight. But the thing is that I can only hold 5. What can I sell them for? I can sell them for like 2,500 at the most, at the maximum. So if I say, okay, my carry weight is 1,000, I have 1,000 carry weight, right? And then if I have an item that is normally worth picking up in order to sell, it's very well worth it, in theory. But I mean, well, even not. Like it's 100 pounds. It should be worth 1,000, and it's worth 2,500, right? So if you think about it, I can only hold 10 Daedric Warhammers, and what do I make off of selling them? 25,000 gold. 25,000, and I'm cutting myself off at that point. 25,000. That's the most amount of gold that I can make with a maximum inventory. And it's all because that maximum inventory is dedicated to Daedric Warhammers. It's also all because of the way Oblivion works. I mean, the fact that they capped 2,500 as, well, did I say 2,500 was the max I could make? 25,000. Anyways, you can only make 2,500 off of a single cell, right? So that's an inherent flaw in the mercantile in Oblivion. That's just a natural way of doing that. So I'm thinking like you can make so many potions, dude. You can make tons of potions. Alchemy is broken for money making. I'm telling you. If you are not making money, it's because you are not doing alchemy. Or you're using so many potions. I don't know what you're doing. But you need to get on the alchemy train if you want to make money. Because these potions are so much more worth it than picking up like Daedric Warhammers or even armor pieces. Things in Oblivion are heavy. I don't know if you've understood this, but items are heavy in Oblivion, and it's kind of bullcrap. I kind of hate it. Skyrim was so much better with it. And you can say like, oh, but in Oblivion, there were spells that could increase your carry weight. So in Oblivion, it doesn't really matter as much what your carry weight is. It can be lower because you can just use spells. Just use spells. And then your carry weight is higher. Look at that. Isn't that great? And it's like, okay, yeah, that's fine and everything, but you can get infinite carry weight in Skyrim. And it's not a mod. It's not a mod. You can get infinite carry weight in Skyrim. You gotta get there first. You really don't need your smithing at 100, but if you want it on Daedric armor, you need it at 100. And then you also need your enchanting and your alchemy at 100. 2 skills. 2 skills are all you need. Alchemy and enchanting. And you can abuse the system that is still in place to this day after all the difficulties that we've had with the changes to Skyrim. Not the changes, but the re-releases. I don't know, they were changes. They changed Skyrim up. They remastered it. They brought it over to a new console. They released that game so many times. And they never got rid of that. So you can have infinite carry weight in Skyrim. You got to get there first, but it's not all that hard. It really isn't. It's the perfect way to make money after all. If you level up your mercantile well enough, if you are good enough, you can get infinite carry weight before you ever step foot on new quest grounds. Like you could do a whole playthrough on Skyrim where you do nothing but level up off of mercantile and smithing and mining and maybe a few other things. But the rule would be do not set foot on quest grounds. You can do anything you want, but just don't set foot on quest ground. Whatever. I'm getting past the point. All right. The point is certain that 10% of your carry weight is the limit. That's where it's not worth keeping at all. So if your carry weight is 1,000, then any item around 10%, 100 pounds. Now, am I going to tell you that 100 pounds out of 1,000, 10% is the end all be all of your decision making? No, I'm not telling you that. Like if it's 9.9%, probably want to drop that. It's close enough. If it's like 9%, honestly, depending on what you got in your inventory and what your plans are, probably worth not picking up. It's just too heavy. 5% would probably be like anything past that you can start considering. I would work your way down to 5%, or well, just work your way down. Like just drop items that are like let's say you get over encumbered, and once you start getting over encumbered, you keep on getting more objects to add to your inventory, and you're not ready to sell anything. You're not ready to leave the dungeon yet. You still got an Oblivion Gate to close, all right? You're not going back and selling everything right now, all right? So you got to finish by letting something go. What do? You work your way down from 10%. If there's anything, in order of value, in order of how much of your carry weight it takes up, just drop it. So that way you guarantee that you get rid of the highest thing that you make sure you free up the most space right away. So that if you do happen to come across more potions or more gems or more arrows or anything that's certainly of value, you can pick it up. But also, if you come across that same item that you dropped, you can't pick it up, and you have to look for stuff that's at least lower than that. But obviously, you can kind of understand, it's a weird balance, right? Because potions, gems, arrows, they don't take up much space, and that's why they're valuable. So you kind of got to think about how many lighter items do I really have at my disposal to pick up in front of me throughout this quest, throughout this Oblivion Gate, or whatever I'm doing? And how many heavy items do I have in front of me? So you kind of got to have a good mix. You always want to be able to pick up all the lighter items. So you got to kind of plan ahead. It's hard, but this is how you think when you want to make as much money as possible. I will say Oblivion, I don't know. Skyrim has this problem too. Eventually, you have so much money that you're just like, why am I even selling stuff? What am I even doing? What? It's nice to sell stuff, I don't need 2 million gold though. What am I going to spend 2 million gold on? Honestly, though, there's nothing I need to buy. There's nothing I need to buy. I have everything. So, in Oblivion, like, once your character is high enough level, once you have everything you need, most of the items, most of the weapons and armor just aren't worth picking up, really. They just aren't. I've kind of found that, like, the more you, like, if all you want to do is adventure and then sell stuff occasionally and make some money off of it and make the most out of your carry weight and your time in Oblivion, like, if you really don't care about money, and honestly, what does money usually buy you? Who really needs money in Oblivion? Like, I like seeing that number go up. My brain likes that. But it's not important that it happens. Like, I don't need to spend money on really anything. So, yeah. I just don't pick up any of the weapons, and I only pick up the rarest armors. But even Daedric armor, I can't really pick that up. Heavy armor weighs way too much in Oblivion. It always has, alright? This remaster didn't change any of this. It's always been this way. So, yeah. Like, I just straight up don't pick up weapons in general for the most part, unless they're daggers, or arrows, or bows. Daggers, bows, and arrows. Those are worth it. Everything else is not worth it. Not worth it. Really. Unless it's enchanted. It depends. You gotta look at it, but for the most part, I just don't pick up weapons. Maybe a short sword or something like that, maybe. But it would have to be light. And it would probably have to be enchanted. So, anyways. Oh, staves. I'll pick up staves. Staves are usually worth a... I like staves. Staves are good. But anyways. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a good one. Hope you continue having good ones. And I hope to catch you in the next video, whenever that is. It'll happen when it happens. If you want a final look at the whiteboard, then here's the whiteboard. Take a screenshot. Keep it in your heart. Only forget it when you die. Okay, well. Thank you for watching. But until the next video, I'm going to have to catch you later. Take care.